Most of the people think they own their money, but what they actually own is access. Access to payment systems, access to your bank account, and access to maybe some exchanges. But what happens if this access is gone? There is a huge risk, and that's why we think that explaining self-custody is a very important topic.
So in this video, you will learn what self-custody really means and why it's important to hold your own keys. How to start safely self-custodying and what are the risks and responsibilities in that?
At the moment, we live in a world of uncertainty. War is around, sanctions, tariffs. A lot of things are in the mode of a change. So what does it mean for us? We are looking today into this topic as a deep dive. In this Bitcoin Bootcamp video, you are gonna see what is the benefit at the end of self-custody. You see in this article here that it's not just us talking about this risk and uncertainty. You see that even banks are preparing for change. There is a lot of things which we could discuss, but why is actually the banks are preparing? Because of uncertainty, of course. And secondly, why would it mean that we would like to have this counterparty risk if banks are just deciding to cut the payment systems, or due to sanctions, you cannot transfer the money anymore?
And this is critical. War is no longer just geopolitics. It directly affects financial systems. War is shaping markets, liquidity, sanctions exposure, and cross-border payments in real time. Cross-border payments, liquidity, sanctions exposure. Access to money becomes uncertain.
Markets react, banks react, liquidity react. But almost nobody asks the key questions: what happens to your money? If access depends on markets, banks, sanctions, and geopolitics, do you think that you really control your money? And this is exactly the place where Bitcoin self-custody becomes important. So Kai, what is self-custody?
Self-custody means you hold your own keys, the 12 or 24 or 20 words, depending on your system. You control the Bitcoin. No bank or no exchange is involved. Who controls the keys controls the Bitcoin. When Bitcoin sits on an exchange, you don't own Bitcoin. You have a claim. You own a claim to it. You depend on the exchange, their liquidity, their rules, and their access. Self-custody removes that risk. You become your own bank.
So if uncertainty increases, it also increases the importance of self-custody.
Yes, because uncertainty affects banks, exchanges, withdrawals, liquidity, payments. Self-custody removes that counterparty risk. Your access doesn't depend on anyone.
There are two main custody types: custodial and self-custodial. So custodial means the exchange holds your keys, and self-custody means that you hold the keys. Each of those options have a trade-off. But maybe Kai, you can dig a little bit deeper. What kind of options do we have?
Absolutely. Basically, it's the hot or cold. So we can have a hot wallet, which means that it's always connected to internet. So it's less secure, but also more convenient, maybe. For examples, for purchases or spending in general. And the cold wallet is a separate device or paper or a steel plate, which is not connected to internet, and it's more secure that way. And so what kind of amount of Bitcoin you are securing, you can decide how much security you want, hot or cold or something. Even multisig with both options could be possible, so that you have extra security, for example, to having five signature, five keys, five sets of keys, and you need three of those to sign the transactions.
And this comes with responsibility, as you can imagine. So with that, there is responsibility. If you hold your keys, you have to think about what to do with your seed phrase, where to place a backup, where to place your hardware wallet at the end, and also what to do in case of a recovery. We would recommend definitively to test it before there is a case where you become hectic and you might need additional support from somebody else. So a recovery testing is highly recommended at this place. So more control means also more responsibility.
When does the self-custody matter the most? Well, the world is crazy. A lot of wars. I think more than 100 crises were ongoing this morning when I woke up. So the world is crazy, and in many countries there are banking crises and inflation and so on. So when banks freeze your money, self-custody solves the problem. Sanctions, payment outages, and so on. Self-custody still works.
I mean, without digging too much into the future risks of Bitcoin and self-custody, could you maybe say a few words about it?
Well, in the headlines we have had quantum computing and CBDCs, as we had an episode earlier this month, and also the financial instability. Self-custody gives stability and flexibility to you. You can move your coins anytime, 24/7.
And as you have seen in the newspaper articles, self-custody means that you are having a true ownership, no counterparty risk. You have global access, financial sovereignty. That means it's a fully different concept than depending on politicians, on banks, or any happening in the world. You're the owner.
Yeah, Bitcoin with self-custody is ownership, as Christoph stated earlier.
And the question to you guys is, do you own your keys?
Which one do you decide? Self-custody or exchange?
Please write in the comment below and also like this video.
Okay, and sign up. Give us a thumbs up and sign up to get more news and more great content about Bitcoin. Also, if you are interested, we have some courses coming up, Bitcoin bootcamps in real life, and yeah, stay tuned. We will talk about that later on more.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.